A thorough and comprehensive evaluation of the facts in this case and the circumstances in this incident established that Fargo police conducted themselves professionally, bravely, and within the constructs of the law. On the morning of July 8th, 2022, Officer O'Brien was at the scene just minutes after dispatch relayed a report of a possible multiple homicide.
Put your hands up!
The officers all observed movement in the vehicle, and they had no way that they could possibly know whether the occupants had been shot, whether there were firearms in the vehicle, whether there were other weapons in the vehicle. The officers drew their weapons and quickly demanded that the occupants not move and that they show their hands.
Turn the car off! Open the door!
It is a matter of record from the other two occupants in this vehicle acknowledge hearing the direct commands of the officer, repeated commands of the officers, and that the driver of the vehicle, Shane Netterville, was not complying with those officers' directives.
Take the keys out! Turn it off right now!
During this time, officers did not have a good view, could not gain a good view of the person seated in the back seat of this vehicle. So keep in mind again that they've responded to the scene of what is possibly a three-person homicide. Now they know there's at least some movement in the vehicle. They see what they believe to be in, which was, in fact, a bullet hole. They didn't know if it was coming out of the vehicle or going in. And you've got people inside the van and one person in the back seat who they can't get very good eyes on and see all of his movements. And the driver of the vehicle is not complying with their lawful commands. At some point, Netterville, now the vehicle's running, Shane Netterville started to move the vehicle forward. He paused momentarily and then accelerated forcefully and rapidly in the direction of Police Officer O'Brien.
Turn it off! Turn it off!
Officer O'Brien fired one round from his service weapon. He was carrying a .40 caliber Glock handgun that day. At the time that he discharged his weapon, he reasonably feared for his life. He reasonably feared for the lives of the other officers. The single .40 caliber round that was fired struck Shane Netterville on the right side of his chest, entered his body, and did not exit. The vehicle driven by Netterville continued up a short way, some couple hundred feet, up the driveway, down the way, crossed over 15th Avenue South, and crashed. Netterville was transported to Stanford Medical Center. He was treated by medical professionals there, eventually expired from his injuries, time of death at 12:45 p.m. The Deputy Attorney General and I, along with the prosecutors, other prosecutors in the Attorney General's office, have fully considered all relevant facts and circumstances surrounding this incident. Our thorough investigative review has established the following: that Officer O'Brien's actions in this matter were justified. His actions were, in these circumstances, reasonable. And under the law of North Dakota, Police Officer Adam O'Brien's use of deadly force was lawful.